James 1 verse 2 to 4 reads as follows. My brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into diverse temptations, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. But let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. Another version will say lacking nothing. Welcome to Colonel Convos with Manini. The verses I just read to you were given to me by my mother when I was in grade 11. I was going through the most, as we'd say now. I was in the pits. You'd be wondering, at grade 11? Yes, at grade 11. So when I told my mother that I wasn't okay, she felt it also in her spirit because she had called me that day. And when she gave me this verse or verses, I read them and cried, but I was like, but how can you say count it all joy when I'm going through it, but I'm counting it all joy? So I want to talk about these verses and how I think God lets us go through trials and tribulations just to make us stronger. But it's not easy. It doesn't come on an easy platter. On a silver platter, right? So the verse starts by saying, count it all joy. How do you count it all joy? In other verses, in other translations, it says pure joy. Now, pure and joy in trials and tribulations to me does not make sense. And I'm actually going to mention that growing up, to me, God was an angry man. He was a big, angry, dark man who would just hit you with lightning anytime you did something wrong, right? But also to me, when we went through difficult times, then I'd be like, okay, that means I did something wrong. God is literally taking me and my family through this because someone did something wrong, right? But given this verse by my mom, I want us to think about it now, that how do you count it all joy when you go through various trials? How do you think of positive things when you're going through the most negative things in your life? And I'm literally asking because I want to know too. I don't know how to do it. So I want you to sit down now and think, how do you count it all joy? But we move on and we get to when you fall into various temptations. Other translations also say when you go through various trials and tribulations. So that's my point. That's my question to say. And I'd like you to comment and tell me, how do you count it all joy when you're going through temptations, trials, and tribulations? But here's my point, my highlight. It says, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. So that's what God works with, the testing of your faith, because it has to produce perseverance and patience. Here's the thing I've always struggled with. I once tested this in grade 7, I remember. So I had this group of friends that I thought were just not good friends anymore. And I went to the bathroom and I prayed. I said, God, please show me if, her name was Amanda at that time. I doubt she's watching this, but I said, God, please show me if Amanda's a good friend to me. And if she's not, please take her away from me, right? But in my mind, if Amanda's not a good friend, God is just gonna create just a small nyana thing that will not make me uncomfortable. Then Amanda will stop being my friend, just like that. But no, I learned then that Amanda was not a good friend. You know how? Because she was gossiping about me behind my back to my other friends. She was mentioning how I think I'm all that, how I always want to be the only one singing, just bad things. And I ran back to the bathroom and I remember I closed myself in the bathroom the whole day. I got into trouble after that, but I was crying. I'm like, oh, Amanda. At the end of the week when I was at home, guys, imagine grade 7, I thought to myself, wait a minute. I said to God, please show me if Amanda is a good friend. And that is exactly what he did. So he didn't just say, okay, Amanda, bye. No, he said, so Manini needs to learn. And this is how she will learn. She will hear Amanda say bad things. And then another point that I make is that when you pray to God to give you something, a certain characteristic, God, please give me strength. It won't just come on a silver platter. You'll have to go through a challenge where you're strengthened. God, please give me patience. It will not come on a silver platter. God will challenge you with a spouse, a friend, a boss, a particular task or challenge that will literally get you to learning how to be patient. And you will not see it then, but at the end of it all, when you've learned it, then you realize that, oh, man, I prayed for patience and this is what it is, So most of the time when we pray for things, when we pray for money, for success, for a job, for a child, it won't always come in a silver platter. But maybe some of you who are watching here have actually just gotten things just like that. But there's that one point where you literally have to be like coffee beans. You need to be grounded and you need to make that coffee. So your character and your personality are going to be grated because you're molded. So knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. I'm not talking of only faith and our belief in God, but I'm talking about the little things, the things that we see small, that build our faith up, our strength, our patience, and this is what the verse is talking about. But when you're going through it, you don't see it, you don't know it, you don't realize it. But that's when God says, count it all joy, right? And then it says, but let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. So what is this all about? You're counting it all joy when you go through various trials and tribulations, knowing that the work of your faith is tested. And then at the end of the day, after the work, you are perfect, wanting nothing. Do you ever think that you'll get to a point where you want nothing? I never used to think that. But learning how to have a close relationship with Jesus Christ, I've learned that I can actually lack nothing. But if I'm still looking at, he cheated on me, I'm hurt, my friends are this, I don't have this, I don't have a car, all these pressures of adulting and all of these things that happen in our lives and the loss that we encounter, as long as we still concentrated on that, we don't see what happens in the process. So I was talking to a friend yesterday and I was mentioning how the problem with us is that we want to get to a destination. We want a goal. But we're rushing to get to that goal and we're not enjoying the process. So I want to buy a car. I almost mentioned the brand, but I want to buy a car and I'm working now. I'm just frustrated. I'm trying to get money. But the process is you're learning how to make money. You're learning how to accumulate income. You're learning how to be patient. You're learning how to choose the correct car because things don't just happen instantly. So what am I saying? I'm saying I've learned that challenges are brought or allowed by God to make us stronger Christians, to strengthen our faith more in Him. But most of it all is to help us trust Him with our entire lives. I've never trusted God with my entire life and I still don't. And it's something I'm learning. And I'd really love to know what you guys are doing, what your experience with your spiritual life is. Maybe you had to lose a parent for you to trust God entirely. And it's unfair, I know it. But that's the only way we learn. I can never understand it. I can never understand someone having to forgive someone for raping their child. I can never understand a parent that had to lose. All of these for me are trials and tribulations. The depth of it can be as deep as being murdered and having to forgive the person who murdered your loved one. But how do you find the joy in all of that? And I mentioned this verse because it took me through a time when I thought I was dying. But no, I wasn't dying. It was just me being molded, me being, what do I say? Being refined. You know, we all know the story of diamond and minerals and gold, how they have to go through the fire to be refined, to come out spotless. And that is the journey I'm talking about now in relation to this verse. That as hard as it may be to count it all joy, we need to remember that it's not the destination that matters the most, but it is the work in progress while we're getting to their destination. So if you have prayed to God for something, for a breakthrough of somehow, forget that it will come easy. It won't. You'll have to learn and unlearn certain things about yourself. So for me, I'm grateful that I went through the relationship I went through, because had I not gone through it, I'd still think I'm a perfect human being and I wouldn't have started this channel. Not that that's the only thing that made me start this channel, but I've realized how I enjoy opening up platforms with people and finding out just how we're doing. And in the Christian level, I'm hoping that we try and understand that it matters, the process. The process matters of where we're going to. And we have to try by all means to see the good in the hardships that we're going through. But most of it all, we're learning how to trust God, and our faith is producing perseverance, is producing patience, and we're learning how to give our entire being, our entire self to God. And these are just one of the verses that I grew up with, and I'd like you to share with me what your favorite verse is. Obviously, this is not the only one I have, but it's the one that took me through a very hard time. So I'd like you to share in the comments below, give me your favorite verse and let me know how it helped you get through your trying time, your temptation, and your hardest challenges. So I found some inspiring and encouraging quotes that I've read and I think will be inspiring and encouraging to you. I read them from firedupdaily.com. I think I have 4, so I'll read them to you. I hope you have a pen and paper, or at least you replay this to take a video of it. So the first one says, as you face challenges in your life, you grow, you learn, you become stronger, you become more capable to do great things. Quote number 2, quit looking at your challenges as stop signs. I'm going to repeat that. Quit looking at challenges as stop signs. Rather, start looking at them as stepping stones to manifesting your greatness. I love that one. Number 3, face your challenges with faith, focus, courage, an open mind, and determination. I'm going to repeat that because I love it too. Face your challenges with faith, focus, courage, an open mind, and determination. And the last one would just be, you grow through the hard times. And that is exactly what I was just saying. You grow through the hard times. Imagine life with no hard times at all. You're just, you don't know who you are because you're not growing at all. So let's embrace them. And let's focus, let's face them, let's take them as stepping stones. Let's count it all joy, as it's said in the Bible. Thank you for watching.